brackets, again, as we talked about, as it usually is with the round of 16 here for Diamond, we have plenty of great matchups. 007 versus AL, another great one. Both American teams there taking off in the first round. We'll see who comes through there. I know a lot of people are going to be intrigued by TT Esports once again. Of course, Terrell Alfamador officially joining them for that GSL event, and he is playing with them for HoN Tour Cycle number 7 here. So they're going to take on Pikachu that first round. And then you have OTP. OTP is actually playing, from my understanding. They picked up a couple of players. I believe Les QQ, and here, let me actually pull up their roster real quickly. Les QQ, Alucard, Enzo, formerly of TT Esports. So,
Enzo's on there.
Yeah, he's on their roster. So they picked up a couple of players. Gonna at least finish off here in HoN Tour, because I guess why not, right? So, yeah, best of luck to them, definitely. But so those are kind of some storylines throughout the brackets there. But anyways, as I said, I believe the game has actually started. I'll go ahead and jump back in right here. So yeah. Yeah, so again, as always, some great other matchups here in HoN Tour Cycle number 7. But we got our focus. We have Lion Esports Club taking on Afraid. So, Emperor, are you ready to kick things off today?
I'm ready, Breaky.
All right, hopefully you guys at home are ready. We have game number 1 coming up. Let's take a look. All right, Lion on the Legion side. Of course, we got Afraid on the Hellborn side. And apparently I cannot spell chat disconnect correctly. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we got our matchup here. Again, this is a round of 16, all 16 teams in HoN Tour Cycle number 7. As it usually works, if you lose out today, you're being bumped down to gold. And actually, speaking of that, the one team that we're really looking at that got bumped down to gold and is going to be playing gold here this cycle is that TFR team, the Fire Rises. They are actually in the gold division.
Yeah, that being said, really quick, if they perform, they'll get to finish their final cycle off in Diamond.
Mm-hmm. So. Very true, very true. And, pending as stars align, perhaps, if they, dare I say, even win the 8th and final Diamond event, you never know. Anything can happen, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, again, we got our matchup here. We're already in the lock pool, so we got to talk about it. I had to clear my chat once again. Blind bans, do you mind listing those off, Emperor?
Yeah, sure. Legion team on Lion side banned Moon Queen and Ophelia, banning Moon Queen as first pick. That's something you see all the time, but just not wanting to deal with it. And then Hellborn team in Afraid. All these tags, man, it's always frustrating. You see X-Men, you see Afraid, you see Pika over there. Yeah. Anyway, they banned Wild Soul and Parasite.
Okay, so definitely bringing back the Wilds here. Again, especially when the GSL event, we saw in the later portion of that, Wild Soul was being not overlooked necessarily, but he was being passed up, actually, by even by Trademark Esports, by Complexity. I mean, he was making it through. So, for the most part, it does seem like Wild Soul is overall considered that god-tier hero, but, I mean, there are some times where he might not be the best option, apparently.
Right.
So.
Maybe if you're planning on running an aggressive lineup, taking advantage of the fact that they're running 4v5. The thing is, those advanced teams, Complexity, Trademark, Stay Green, at the top tier, usually know how to work around their lineup enough to give Wild Soul the room he needs to farm. Once he gets that mock, he's absolutely devastating. I mean, there's a reason you see Stay Green ban him out every single game.
Mm-hmm. So, definitely banned out here. The locking phase, as again, we're moving on. We got Torch for the first lock, Keeper of the Forest, Tempest. Very strong combo there to set the next couple of locks coming out. Shadowblade and Bubbles to follow. And then, of course, we have Pharaoh to finish things off. Now, that Shadowblade, we did see that before from Lion. Who's the one that likes it? Is it Super KGA, I believe?
Super KG likes to run it. Yeah. I'm not sure if anyone else likes to run on the team, but he's the one who played it last time, yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually talked to him a little bit about it afterwards. He said it's his favorite hero.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, usually you would consider that more of a trollish style lock. But in this case, maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, maybe not. It gives them the anchor where if the Hellborn team decided to troll lock and they needed to pick from troll locks, they can at least pick a hero that they're super comfortable with. Outside of that, it's probably not going to be picked up this game.
Yeah. With that said, actually, I was showing an alt avatar of his, the Shadow Beast alt avatar. It's apparently pretty badass, and from what I can tell, it looks pretty cool too. So, interested to see if he's actually picked and we can see that. But, anyways, moving along here, banning phase. We got Fade, Aluna, Draconis, Pebbles, Jeraziah, Engineer. First pick, Wretched Hag coming out for Lion Esports Club. Master of Armsteadwood, going to be that response. That's a strong response there from Afraid.
Yeah, both those heroes we've seen picked up right away lately as well. On top of Wretched Hag definitely, for a team like Lion, definitely tends to be more their flavor of hero. I bet they like to run the Wretched Hag plus Hammerstorm. There it is! Hammerstorm carry. And I always talk about, I don't like Hammerstorm when he's the only carry for a team, but when he's your, wingman, he's your co-carry, whatever you want to call it, does a much better job, because all the weight's on him. You have to worry about if they kite him in one fight. There's a lot more distraction going on, a lot more just intensity in general, so it allows him room to sort of fulfill his role a little bit better.
Yeah, that term semi-carry is thrown around in this case, but Hammerstorm, I don't. It makes it sound like he's weak. I mean, Hammerstorm is not weak, but we've seen that again. Speaking of especially this GSL event, we saw him many times at the later stages of the GSL event recently. I mean, Hammerstorm can most certainly carry, and he can hit very, very hard with the right farm, and hell, even with minimal farm, honestly, with that brute strength again, it's just such a powerful tool. For him to use in those team fights. It gets those cooldowns, and he will wreck face. So, yeah, this is definitely Lion Esports' kind of comfort zone there, you could say. Again, though, Master of Arms, Deadwood, a very strong start over here at the same time for Team Afraid. They're going to finish off with Andromeda. How about that? So, I mean, what do these three heroes all have in common? At least one thing that's coming to my mind.
Minus armor, and they also just fulfill, like, a very nice... Well, first off, okay, Windkeeper of the Forest, so they're not going to have to worry about a Tempest pick here. I'm sure they'll be grabbing it, but I was going to say, yeah, all minus armor, and they all sort of work together just very nicely in general. It's not like they have to compromise their lineup or their aggression in order to get this, quote-unquote minus armor lineup.
Yeah, that's definitely plenty of possibilities as far as minus armor is concerned. If it stacks on one another, I mean, you're looking upwards of 10 plus easily, so... yeah, that's good news there for Team Afraid. We'll see if that definitely comes into play. As far as they're going to respond here, it's going to be Tempest, Pharaoh are going to be their two heroes. After, of course, the Keeper of the Forest first pick over here for Lion Esports Club. So now to finish things off, I mean, I'm probably thinking that Bubbles to run in a suicide fashion, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably, but you got to look. It's they're definitely not going to run it. Remember that one time? Well, they didn't have a jungler was the thing when they picked Shadowblade before, and it was the bigger troll pool. They did run it alongside the Hammerstorm and Hag carry, but yeah, I don't expect it to see it picked up this game. Bubbles would probably be the easiest to work with their lineup. I mean, granted, if they wanted a suicide, it would just be awkward. I mean, they could pick a Tordu, Glacius Torture. I mean, it's just really no.
Yeah, it's why. It's just like, why not just go Bubbles, do what makes the most sense, and, get that sound lineup. I see the Torture, kind of that tri-lane set up like a Hammerstorm Torture.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but I wouldn't expect it. Let's put it that way.
Well, they're thinking about it. I mean, again, nothing wrong with that. You have all this extra time to use, so. But, yeah, I got to assume it's going to be the Bubbles in the end. So, we'll see.
I'm looking at Lion. I don't see them pick it up that often. I'm expecting they'll pick it up here, but... maybe they do. I'm just trying to think. I know the Hammerstorm Wretched Hag is definitely a signature for their team. Yeah, surprisingly they did wait that long to pick it up. Well, but yeah,
I was going to say, something tells me, especially Super KG, he's probably sitting there like, Shadowblade, make it work. Come on, there's some way we can make it work. But it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, no, not this game. I think in general, if you're running a jungler, you don't really want to run your Shadowblade pick either.
Yeah.
There
would have been a lot of farm to pass around, basically, if you went the Shadowblade pickup especially, so. All right, but anyway, so they finished with Bubbles. Again, you look at the lineup over here for Team Lion, it's a very, very strong lineup. And again, kind of a comfort zone even for Lion, as you might mention, with that Hag and the Hammerstorm combination. Both have that carry potential, so. Same time, though, Hellborn side, a lot of minus armor right off the bat. They finished very strong with Tempest and Pharaoh, of course. As far as their lane setups, I'm actually a little bit intrigued here. You got the Feral Suicide, Andromeda. Probably going to see Andromeda MOA mid, Deadwood solo top, and then Tempest in his own jungle. So,
yeah, you can even expect to see occasionally a little bit of roam action coming out here from this Andromeda as well. Andro, that is pretty mean, man. That minus armor stacking Rod and Giraffes, it does stick for quite a while now. That level 2 boss, I mean, it's a mean lane.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be pretty annoying. And you talked about the Andromeda, the roam potential. Yeah, she's definitely one of the best up there as far as the supports roaming early on. That Comet stun, very, very powerful. It's a 1.75 guaranteed single target stun. I mean, very useful. So
we actually will see the Deadwood top though. I wasn't even. It's like the Deadwood versus the Bubbles. Deadwood's absolutely going to devastatingly crush him.
Yeah.
Bubbles cannot last hit against him. I mean, a little bit, he can try to put in as much harass as possible. With the pulled region on Deadwood, though, it is just not going to be a good time for him. Curious to see once again how the Keeper jungle pans out versus the Tempest jungle. Normally we see the Tempest sort of overtaken farm, but the Keeper has a bit more utility, so it winds up being okay.
Yeah.
And if they apply the earlier push, or say as soon as Keeper hits 6, he gets the gank off before Tempest, or they evade the Tempest gank, then sometimes you see the Keeper sort of lead the way. So curious to see how Lions handles this. Outside of that, just... yeah, I'm just going to be looking to see if Tempest actually, because I'd like to talk about this a lot too in the jungles, Tempest jungle versus a Keeper jungle. Tempest can get active and gank a lot sooner, and maybe he'll wind up using that to his advantage.
Yeah, especially with that Glacial Blast, then really when he gets that level 6 mark. But Keeper the Force, of course, at level 6 too with that root.
Yeah, I'm speaking more pre-level 6 for the mid lane, the dual lane versus the dual lane matchup. That can be a bit of a deciding factor sometimes. One gank can really tip the lane in the other team's favor.
We do see, again, that what was kind of expected in the end from both sides, really. As far as lane setups go, not really any curveballs here. You got your Hag versus Hag in the short lane against your Suicide Pharaoh. Penny really has been stuck. He is the Suicide player here for Team Afraid. I mean, we've got the chance to cover them a couple of times recently with the HoN Tour and again that GSL event, and he's been playing their Suicide. Again, for me, my history with Penny, it seems like he's always been a support player, but I guess switching roles here with this team. Of course, when you have Sender, he's a very good and experienced support, so he's taking over that role.
Yeah, well, maybe this gives Penny a chance to shine a little bit more than he would have in a support role. Maybe he can, show his stuff. I thought he did just fine in the GSL matches against QSQ.
Oh yeah, definitely don't remember anything bad at all. So again, this is just one of those sound teams, not the best of the best by any means, not up there 1 through 5, but. This is a team at the same time. They can bust some victories. So
Lion, I mean, I would argue that they are in the top 5.
No, I was taking Team Afraid.
Okay, Team Afraid for sure.
No,
okay,
Lion, Lion, different story. I mean, you could definitely argue that at least.
They've had a couple weak cycles here and there, but overall, I mean, they put out pretty steady victories.
Yeah. Team Lion, again, they've proven that they can be. Again, they had that streak, especially against Complexity specifically, where they defeated them something like 3 or 4 series in a row. They really had their number. But yeah, Team Afraid, again, this is a team at the same time that definitely could bust out the victory, on a good day, of course. So, like I said, you look at the players on the team that, especially Sender, again, he's been around the scene for forever, really, the competitive scene, and has plenty of experience, and many of these players. So, again, definitely expecting a sound best of the 3 matchup here. So, game number 1, we're now 2.5 minutes, coming up to about 2.5 minutes here. Nothing again too radical happening necessarily. Let's take a look at the numbers while we say that. Commissar on the Hammer Storm in the meantime. There's a charge shot on top. Super KG a little bit too tanky though. But, at least Andromeda and Master of Arms showing that they're going to keep that harassment up, having the double range advantage. Although Andromeda's range isn't the greatest in terms of it, but still, it is a double range, so.
Master, he's 550, right? It's not that total 600. Yeah, they have a double range. Glacius is a little bit better in mid than Andro, but, it is laning with a melee hero, so. Yeah.
The advantage there. As far as the numbers go, though, Hammer Storm 7-1. Master of Arms 4-4, so MOA not able to get the most effective creep kills just yet. In fact, in a little bit of trouble right here. Glacius running. It didn't have enough mana for the freeze though. It is going to be turned on somewhat, and Master of Arms will be fine. So that was close right there.
Yeah, I was expecting to see him maybe even commit there for a potential kill, but did not want to risk potentially getting counter killed by the Hammer Storm there. Killing support for losing the Master would definitely not be worth it. But still, there might have been a window. Would have been close though.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if Sealka just didn't do the math necessarily, but just barely didn't have enough mana for the Glacial Free, or the Ice Imprisonment. And Master of Arms was able to survive, and like we saw, nearly set up a turnaround chance. So middle lane, though, that's where the action for the most part has been this game, as kind of expected with that 2 versus 2, and all the stuns coming out from both sides. 4-minute rune is coming up right here. Andromeda against Sender heading towards the top rune. Glacius, Sealkid also heading up here. Sender's going to get there first, but still about 10 seconds left, so we'll see if he's able to protect this enough. As Hammerstorm also, no, but MOA is heading up here, so it'll probably be in favor of the Hellborn team. Nope, it's going to be bottom, though.
Bubbles isn't winning the lane by any means, but still he's doing a good job getting what CS he can against this Deadwood. I mean, sitting at 13-1, 200 GPM. I mean, it is really, really hard to last hit against him.
Yeah, 13-1, but 25-9 Deadwood. Yeah, again, here on Deadwood, he is doing just fine as far as XP farm goes. So off to that very strong start. Tempest actually just purchasing his Pickled Brain right there. So the Ring of Sorcery definitely on the way. Hammerstorm again in the middle lane. A lot of pressure coming out. He has a Galvanize though, so despite the minus armor, he'll kind of counter it in a sense. So going to be fine. And, you know, with that said too, a lot of the times we see Hammerstorms only get the one level of Galvanize. I mean, I guess it's a fair share. It kind of goes back and forth. But this game I expect him to level that up here. I mean, again, minus armor definitely plentiful here on the Hellborn side. Having a Galvanize leveled up seems like it would be useful.
Right, I mean, he normally goes for that Mighty Swing route actually on Super KG, but yeah, given the minus armor, choosing to go that this game. And we saw Ring of Sorcery got delivered to the Tempest this game, but he only had like 2% mana when it got delivered, so he didn't even have enough mana to use the ring right away when it got delivered. It's going to be harder for him to gank. He's going to need to conserve a little bit to have both of his spells.
Especially now that he's level 6, yeah. Definitely doesn't have enough for both. So
yeah, see, he's kept at very, very low mana pool right now. His Ring of Sorcery is coming off cooldown, but it takes 40 mana to use. He only has 15, so he's going to be sort of inactive. I don't like that at all.
Well, Gossig on the Tempest, he's going to deliver himself a couple of
right that changes things for sure.
At least helping out a bit, but yeah, I mean, you look at the top lane right now. If Bubbles isn't even here anymore, I wasn't necessarily certain if he almost died, or maybe because Dead was level 6 now, he's getting some great farm. I don't want to risk staying up there and dying. So, and if anything, Bubbles, of course, very good at moving around and setting up kills himself. Yeah,
I mean, just the nuke alone will secure a kill here if they got to initiate a middle lane and has the range of that Shell Surf. It's about. What is the exact range of that, by the way? I feel like it's almost.
Let's see.
No, it's like 1,800. It feels like it's 2,000. It's long, though.
Doesn't? 1,800.
1,800? 1,800, okay. I know I think the graphic goes a little bit beyond. You can't warp to the entire duration of it. I think like the last little step of it you're not able to warp to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Bottom tower, heavy push on here. Of course, this is definitely what Keeper the Force brings to the table, and now it might be denied, actually. Pharaoh and Andromeda here, and it will be. Panny on that Pharaoh, able to deny it. So good counter pressure coming up from the Hellborn team, and I mean, in the end, the tower is still dead, obviously, but at least getting the deny, making the best of it a bad situation there pretty much. Top lane kind of being counter pushed, but you do got a Bubbles and a Glacius here as well. So it's they're going to be falling back in the Deadwood and Tempest, so. Both teams trying to hit that mark with their junglers and push the towers. Works out a little bit better for Lions, despite the tower being denied.
Yeah, part of that tower push bottom, though, it also dragged Andromeda to the bottom lane. A little bit less mid pressure there for a bit, and Bubbles came to gank middle, but Andromeda wasn't there. So maybe a missed opportunity because of that.
Yeah, helping keep him alive, if anything. Ooh, top rune. Okay, there is no rune there. Bubbles just using some reach and actually trying to maybe catch Andromeda, who is roaming in that direction. Hammerstorm with the invis. Yes, they are going to open right here. In comes the Shell Surf. Where's the Song of the Sea? There's that Song of the Sea. And the auto attack for Super KG. Getting the kill. Penny with the counter, though. Kelfield going to be coming out from Bubbles right there. Hammerstorm is on the run. Tempest is chasing, but Hammerstorm will be fine. So, setting up for a while right there. You taking advantage of the invis rune, of course, and getting the Bloodlust kill now about 7.5 minutes in.
Yeah, Penny also low on mana after he ended up using his Wrath of the Pharaoh to get in there. He didn't even have enough mana for his Wall of Mummies.
Yeah.
Or else that might have been a kill. Also, Kelpfield, Bubbles was only level 5 when he initially jumped in, I believe. Hit level 6 from the kill, from the initiation, so great timing there.
Good point, good point. Master of Farms does pick up the double damage rune over Hammerstorm right there, who, of course, had his bottle ready to bottle it up. The immediate ready pause. Just felt like using a pause right there. All right.
Nice misclick. Well, what else are you going for?
Yeah, what are you trying to kick
I guess
somebody?
maybe just clicking in that direction on the map or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's funny.
Remake.
Yeah, double damage here for the Master. Compare him to he is still holding in there, and he hasn't died yet. Hammerstorm did get the first blood, which helped a lot, but yeah, Master of Arms is doing just fine.
Top lane going to be pressured again. Deadwood and Tempest. He's Tempest using those elementals, of course. He has maxed those out at level 4, so the most power coming out of them. The tower is going to fall. Ooh, denied attempt from Bubbles right there. Corruption, great attempt, but in the end, Team Afraid will get credit for the tower kill. So, in a sense, kind of a one for both teams getting the one tower. Of course, remember, Lions was denied. So definitely leaning a little bit more in favor of Team Afraid. And it also, look at this Deadwood. I mean, Steam Boots, Mystic Vestments, and he has another 1370 gold saved up. He is up there, man. 370 gold per minute being farmed on him. And that means an earlier on portal key. That means danger, danger for the Legion team.
Yeah. He's content to sit back and farm right now, it seems, but we talk about Deadwood's one of those heroes too. Unlike Pebbles, I feel like he's a little bit easier to get active with early, even if you don't have your portal key. In a game like this, there's nothing wrong with him sitting in that side lane until he picks it up. I mean, he has absolute control right now. But yeah, that's another nice part about Deadwood.
Yeah. Bottom lane, I mean, speaking of farmers in this game, people or heroes doing well in that sense. Wretched Hag is up there for his team, Flensmeister, playing the short lane Wretched Hag. He is farming about 310 gold per minute right now. With the Ring of Teacher, has a Steam Boots, has over 800 gold saved up. Middle lane, what's that?
Well, Bubbles is camping right behind there. I mean, if Hammerstorm and Glacius get initiation off, and the TPs aren't quick enough, there's also Keeper of the Forest postured behind.
Yeah, Keeper of the Forest. Oh, their courier's going to die right there. Homecoming Stone will fall right there. It's not the biggest stone in the world, but Root coming out. In comes Patty with the Rise of the Row. Hit the creep, so Bubbles jumps in with a Shell Surf. Gets the one kill onto Master of Arms right there. Tempest coming in. He has an ultimate ready. Couldn't get close enough, though. Now Debo ports in, though. Will he go for that rock grass? Another red put down. That's a Falcon Punch on a Keeper of the Forest. So a 1-for-1 exchange. That was a very awkward fight right there because of the positioning. But,
yeah.
Well, Courier dead.
Yeah, Krebson's obviously focused on killing the Master as well. I felt like if his Shell Surf was able to hit the Pharaoh at the end, he could have laid down his Kelp Field and that would have been a double tap. But yeah, very, pretty much even exchange. They did have to use the Deadwood Punch, so they know they're safe. I mean, the cooldown isn't that long on it, though, let's be honest. And now he has his portal key, so
yeah,
definitely fine in their favor. Yeah, I just thought they'd be going a little bit earlier there onto that Master because the bubble's sitting behind. Maybe before the Keeper of the Forest got caught out. Maybe they decided they didn't have enough damage. They want to risk it. You know, that Master's Call, the turnout potential on it is obviously huge. With the teleports coming to back him up, probably just did not want to go down that road.
Yeah. He's stressed, though. The portal key coming here on, again, playing this Deadwood. Yeah, just pretty much after this Fire Ogre. He will have the golds for it, and being level 9 on top of that, you know, up there is really the top level in the game, actually. I'm looking at it. So, yeah, Deadwood's continuing to have a very good impact here in this game right now for Team Afraid. Obviously, Panty disconnecting here, so hopefully he comes back shortly, though, and can move on with the game here. While we are on this pause break here, gives us a little bit of time to talk about a couple of things. Again, there are other matches going on, and we'll do our best to keep you guys updated on how those are going with the brackets. You could also go to HoNtour.com yourself and actually check out the brackets. You go to the events tab and cycle number 7, of course. So, and it is pretty much on the spot update. I mean, that's how I check our results. So when we announce them, so you can definitely do that yourself as well. Also, I don't know if you got the chance to, Emperor, but I actually made a post about this late last night, or I guess early in the morning, whatever you want to call it. It's about 1:30 local time here in the morning. There was the Garena was actually streaming a Thailand tournament that I guess they do every single week called the G League or something like that. And Team MRR was playing. Team MRR, of course, was at DreamHack recently, and they had their shining moments. They were actually a lot of fun to watch. They were
Mr.
playing.
Kit or not? Mr. Kit, is he part of?
I
maybe
believe
not.
so.
Maybe not. All right. Anyway.
Who was on? Yeah, now I'm blanking, actually. I'm putting me on the spot here. God, who are the names? Anyways, the team name we know, Team MRR, it was actually kind of fun because, again, Thailand especially, that's where we're going to be going, and both Trademark and Stay Green. And, you know, a lot of people pretty convinced that that our region should have the advantages. But, you know, again, I will say, things are looking pretty good over there. And both teams, from what I could tell, at least in the matches that I got, the lineup's nothing too crazy. There was some Flux play, but, you know, Flux can definitely be a strong hero in the right lineup. So, and on top of that, I also got to give a shout out to their production team too. It was pretty impressive. You know, the event that they were putting together in the production and everything. They actually had the teams there in person, and I guess like I said, it's like a weekly thing. So.
Oh wow. Yeah, I said Mr. Kit, but he was from VTI Dynasty way
That's
back.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
That was thinking names for that tournament with the DreamHack event. I was like,
yeah, he was from the Latin America team. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now I feel bad. I'll have to look that up.
But yeah, it was definitely fun kind of watching that. And again, I'm gonna try to get more information. Actually, you know how active that is. It was actually on a YouTube live stream, which is kind of interesting.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it had something like 7,000 viewers though. I mean, it was actually doing very well in terms of numbers. So, anywho, back to this game though. Obviously, Panty has reconnected, and here we are resuming game number 1. About 11 and a half minutes in now. Again, Deadwood, did he purchase Portkey? Yes, he did. It's on the way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if he makes immediate use of it here.
Sender did opt to level up his Comet over the Aurora. We see both builds sometimes. I was curious to see if he was going to go the Aurora build, given the whole minus armor thing with Master of Arms with Deadwood, but I mean, obviously it's still doing a lot. Minus 3 armor at level 2, and then he'll finish it up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Dimensional Link eventually.
Look at those. Oh, they didn't position that well at all.
What's up?
Well, they didn't position. They're doing the Ancients there with Master of Arms,
yeah.
but you're supposed to kite it back a lot further. It was just really, really bad positioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he can even go further back than that because they're coming. Yeah, he just needs to cast it from up the hill. It's doing all right, though. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be really fast Ancient clearing combined with the goo, combined with the other minus armor additional from Andromeda.
There you go.
That the Ancients will be. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit better there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's triple stack of those Ancients and taking. We see more and more teams do this. We so used to back in the day with competitive seed, it was stacking those Ancients and then allowing your hard carry to farm it up earlier on. We see a lot more though of the supporting cast, going over there and as a team, 2 or 3 heroes even, just doing it as a team very early on in the game. So.
Yeah, not a huge deal for that because of the fact that Hammerstorm had complete control of the mid lane during it. No one was there. So obviously it's not the end of the world that they took those Ancients. He's just trying to get farm and sort of equalizes it a little bit, I guess, but
yeah.
Not really.
You see Deadwood here at the bottom lane setting up the portal key, but again, can't really get that positioning yet. Or a hero for that matter, and instead he'll just look to push the lane in the meantime. We'll see if Lion Esports Club looks to make any type of response in this. I mean, again, I keep looking at the scope per minute chart, and Hammerstorm and Wretched Act both up there, keeping the force now up to 275, but no one's really taking off at this point for Lion Esports Club. Really overall in this game, this has definitely been a very tamed game in a sense. 2-1 hero kills, 13.5 minutes in. Right as I say that, though, Keeper the Force coming in and setting up for a beautiful route right here. Ports are coming. There's a Rita hits 3 of the 4 heroes. Wretched Act coming in. The Bat Blast line up on a couple heroes. She takes the counter, though. Hammerstorm's not going to be used. Tempest ultimate coming out, though. The defensive master's call on to Patty. Andromeda will fall. They do get the kill on the Keeper the Force, but Hammerstorm activates that brute strength. Takes out Andromeda right there. Tempest is being chased. Spawns the elementals. Deadwood just sitting in the background. Nice rock grasp right there. And actually, they're going to turn this on a Super KG, it looks like. The Glacial Blast come out, and down goes Hammerstorm. So a great turn at the end, especially. And if anything, that may have pushed it in favor of Afraid. It was looking really good for Lion there. But the Hammerstorm kill is huge.
They even have Master of Arms there. They use his ultimate, sure, but I got to give a little bit of criticism to Fundsmeister. He normally is very, very tight with his positioning, but right there, he actually used his Flash of Darkness and got right next to that Deadwood. I mean, he blinked right next to him. He could have positioned himself a little bit further away, still gotten a huge Bat Blast off. Just in trying to get that awesome positioning, he compromised his life a bit there. Took a Willowmaker to the face, man. So.
Yeah, you said I definitely remember that in that fight, and yeah, got to question that for sure. I mean, it lined up the Bat Blast, but it pretty much cost him his life.
He pretty much blew up right there. So, yeah, definitely needs to be a little more careful. He is going the sacrificial stone route this game. You see the ring mail, you see the grave lock, and I can only assume that's what's happening.
Yeah, of course. For Flensmeister here again. Solid item choice, especially when you're, for one, dealing against a Deadwood, but again, it goes back to just all the minus armor here on the sleeve, or the Hellborn side from Team Afraid, so want to make sure you have plenty of it. Triple stack Ancients in the meantime being done here by the Legion team. Hammerstorm doesn't have that Mighty Swing again. He didn't max out the Galvanize as we were talking about, which is giving his team 9 armor when he uses it, but doesn't have that AoE effect as a result. But they're going to do this as a team, of course, and clean it up pretty damn fast, actually, so. Some good spread farm right there. But overall, Team Afraid, they have the numbers right now in their favor. It's a 1,400 gold lead, 1,200 experience lead, so again, pretty minimal, 15.5 minutes in here. But Deadwood and actually Tempest has overtaken as the top farm, and it looks like he's working on a Astral Lay, which I believe is being delivered. Yes, it is, so getting that team build item that we see so much more. It really is so weird to say, but it honestly doesn't seem like Portal Key Tempest is the go-to route anymore. I mean,
no.
It seems like Portal Key is like, when you think Portal Key, you think of a couple heroes like Behemoth, maybe Magnus, and then Tempest, but not anymore. Not anymore.
Well, it's just a little bit more consistent, a little bit safer route. Also, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Gives you that early tank. You have build up going to it. You get to get active a lot earlier, so I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially right now, a lot of times you get the portal key off. A lot of times people are just too tanky to kill outright with just the ultimate. It just allows you to have more durability in a fight. I guess more sustainability, I should say. Just not all in.
Yeah. Hammerstorm has 1430 gold saved up. So speaking of portal key, interested to see if that's what he goes for here. You know, again, if you are going for more of that carry style, we do see, in other words, first item Shrunken to even a Sanitarius. Do you think that portal key though makes sense here?
I think the portal key is what he's going to go for sure. Yeah, he's saving up 1400, and it's just, in general, even if you're going carry Hammerstorm, portal key is just great. I mean, it might slow down your farm a little bit having to get it first, but just brings you so much team utility, and they honestly need more initiation, so
yeah,
it would be what he should go.
Speaking of Hammerstorm, he was attempted to be initiated on. Pharaoh hit the creep wave though instead of him, and now we kind of see the end result of that. Hammerstorm just fell back, but the whole team here of Team Afraid is here. Deadwood off to the side again. He has that portal key, obviously. Keeping the forest sitting with that invis. Thinking about going in right here, perhaps. Nice deny in the tower coming out from Hammerstorm. The chase, is it going to happen here? It doesn't look like it. Team Afraid doesn't want to risk it. Sender kind of going back and forth, but he too will fall back. So pretty solid stand there coming out from Team Lion, actually. Andromeda needs to be coming out to be picked off here at the end, and yeah, she will be fine. So not really much action coming as a result of that. Middle tower fight. Energizer, though, finished on Master of Arms, by the way. So
why did they keep doing that?
Doing what?
Just their positioning when they do the Ancients is awkward. They could be taking so much less damage.
Yeah.
I thought they learned the lesson from the first time, but I guess they just don't care.
It is kind of silly. Yeah, they did kill him in the end, though.
Yeah. Moving on. Yeah, I'm afraid a little bit to see. Lion does look like they have a very strong team on paper. I feel like Andromeda can foil a lot of their plans. Maybe Hammerstorm blinks in, initiates, gets a nice stun off. The team tries to follow up. Andromeda swaps right there. All of a sudden, they're sort of over their heads. Yeah. Massive Arm Shield goes down. You get the counter initiate. Maybe Deadwood's looking to blow up that Wretched Hag, and that buys room for Tempest to walk on up. So I am a little bit worried for Lion. It seems like it's gonna be harder for them to pull off their team fight against a makeup like Afraid.
Yeah, the Andromeda always just so, and Andromeda, especially when she doesn't have to worry about playing against a Tempest, because, you know, in the matchups where we see her against a Tempest, it's like, okay, well, she has the swap, but a lot of the time she wants to save it for that Tempest, if anything. When she doesn't have to worry about that, it definitely opens up the table, whether she wants to use it aggressively or still defensively. But as you're talking about, you know, if Hammerstorm jumps in, thinks they have a free kill, and all of a sudden they get swapped out, and sure, they kill Andromeda, but not the target they really wanted, so... Andromeda, just a very, very annoying hero to play against, for sure.
I've even seen, like, say, level 2 Andromedas, they have that longer Void Rip cast range. Say Hammerstorm blinks in, I've even seen people use level 2 swap, like, away from the fight onto the Hammerstorm just to take him out, so he has to run all the way back in and waste a lot of his time not getting auto attacks and just more kiting, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, keep it the force using that new portal key right there. Master Bob's gonna get caught using the Defense Master Call. He has the Energizer as well, has a Pharaoh nearby, and the gank attempt completely failing. I kind of feel like Keeper went a little bit too early right there with this initiation. I mean, Bubbles even has his portal key. He was also running up here, but just couldn't come in for the assistance. Neither could Wretched Hag either, so... Follow-up not enough, and good stand by Jolem here, playing the Master of Arms, and again, especially Master of Arms with that ultimate of his. Coming into use once again right there.
Yeah, see, they got the Wretched Hag first pick, but we've seen how devastating both Deadwood and Master have been lately. We were seeing the impact that Master's had on his game so far, and you got to question if Wretched Hag was the best choice.
She is working on her first Arcana, of course, going for the Hellflower, but actually Team Lion needs to be really careful right here. Wretched Hag going to blink, but she blinks right into a Panic Ultimate, coming out with that Wrath of the Pharaoh. In comes the Goo. Wretched Hag going to take the Nature's Veil, though. Is going to be good for now. Glacius caught off to the side. He will definitely fall. No Revelation. Okay, they did have a Revelation they finally put down, but just a little bit too late, actually. So, minimal loss there for Team Lion. It could have been much worse.
Yeah, they're doing a good job pushing up the middle lane during all of that. Hammerstorm obviously now with his portal key and going to seek to get a little bit fatter from here on out. What is the stats of the teleports? I mean, Pharaoh can convert. We see Tempest already converting right now towards the back tower. They're looking like they might want to stage a defense here.
Master of Arms can't, but again, with that global presence, at least he still could bring something to the table. And it is going to be enough to scare off Hammerstorm for now. You do got Pharaoh and Master of Arms still pushing that top lane. So yeah, not going to risk it. But yeah, the 3 portal keys here now on the Legion side, man, on top of the Wretched Hag blink. So the jump is most certainly there now for Lion Esports Club.
Yeah, and you see the counter initiate, though we talk about Pharaoh being devastating, overstaying, maybe overcommitting to a kill, and Tempest coming in and getting a huge elemental void off. The void rip alone, they all jump on a hero and just swap him back, and all of a sudden, yep, all those stuns are wasted and the hero is fine. Yeah. And not to, top it all off, you got the Master's Call.
Yep.
So, and if they're jumping in, that's just going to make it that much easier for Deadwood to pick a target. I just feel like they have the counter initiate on this team.
Yeah, very true, very true. So maybe these portal, all that blink potential, it definitely isn't as strong because of the reasons you're listing off right there. But still can accomplish the job here as Master of Arms actually charging into Wretched Hag and playing a lot of damage, but not going to pick up a kill right there. Showing his strength though. Interested to see where MOA goes with this build, by the way. I kind of feel like he should have bought something. I mean, it seems like he's been sitting on this items now for a little bit. But maybe not. I guess not, actually. Maybe he bought the Mystic Investments since then. But...
maybe. I know he had the Energizer for a bit. We'll have to see.
Ooh, Soulsbow work on Deadwood now.
Yeah, even more. That is absurd, actually. What is the total? Okay, it's -5, right, from the goo. -4 more, -9. You got -5 more, 14, 18, -18 armor up to that for those 3 crows.
Potential of -18, yeah. I mean, even without getting max value, you're looking at anywhere from 9 to 9 or so. I mean, it's a lot. And bottom lane, a lot of TPs coming in. It's actually Bubbles and Portkey. There's the offensive Master's Call on a Pharaoh, though, helping him get away. They do deny the tower successfully. Sender going to be the one left behind. He did get a couple of ultimates to be used on him, so honestly, if I'm Team Afraid right there, not too frustrated with Andromeda getting killed, but good response, though, coming out from Lion Esports Club.
Curious to see if they'll take this window now right when he revives to go, well, they already have all the outer towers down. They can't really, I mean, they could maybe stage a con attack, but I wouldn't really recommend it. Yeah, they can't really take advantage of it too much.
Deadwood's in a lot of trouble here. Deadwood will end up falling. Again, got a little too greedy right there. Taking the Legion Ancients.
It's
a big pick.
We saw that they were in a pretty good spot because they sort of, they had no keeper ulti. I mean, I get that he wanted to steal the farm, and that was a good idea. Just how did they scout him out in the end too? Was it just did they see him? They have that ward right there.
Yeah, I think they saw him go up there.
That's a pretty common ward spot too. Just that area in general. The fact that he thought he'd be safe, a little bit questionable, and he wasn't exactly high life either. I mean.
Oh yeah, he was obviously tanking those ancients right there and started to dwindle them down as they do, and maybe if anything, I mean, well, that's the other thing too. I mean, you are dealing against a team with 3 portal keys and a Wretched Hag blink, so you figure, okay, I can portal key first, but you have to be really quick, and obviously wasn't quick enough right there. So definitely a good catch for Lion Esports Club, and hell, the golden experience actually even swing in their favor as you look at it. Now 25 minutes in, it's been a very close game in the stats for the most part, but it has seemed like Afraid has had the advantages, but now you look at Team Lion even pulling a little ahead.
Nullfire Blade is finished on Master of the Arms, and that's actually pretty damn good this game. They're going up against the Keeper of the Forest. I mean, I don't need to tell you what obvious effects it has right there. It's just a way to remove that root from someone and himself, and just obviously the aggressive effects and how it stacks well with his repeater ability. So, I do like it.
Something that we haven't really stressed too much, but it's more so because it's just really obvious, but just to point it out, it's Keeper of the Forest scores against all this minus armor, speaking of him, that Nature's Veil applying the 12 plus armor to everyone that he puts it on, so
yeah,
it's an
essential. You can look at it both ways. In my head, I was thinking about they have a lot of minus armor to deal with the tankiness the Keepers have.
True.
And then, you know what? Also, Nullfire Blade purging off the Keeper armor if they are focused on your target does not hurt.
Yep. Has multiple uses. We do see Glacius going to port back to base, and very good timing because, he had 4 players hunting him there at the bottom lane. But he is going to be fine in the end. So Lion Esports Club, pretty content on still just kind of farming a little bit more right now. You do see a case of Team Afraid. They're trying to roam around, set up some more kills, get those opportunities. But looking at the mini-map, no one from Team Lion really in the vicinity at this point. Tempest did choose to go to the top of the command, by the way, so followed up the Astrolabe with that. Again, no portal key by any means. Just continuing more of the utility build here.
Yeah, I feel like Lion doing a little bit better job of farming here in this middle game. They did take the lead in golden experience. Wretched Hag is getting dangerously close to a Hellflower, and we said before, Keeper not going those defensive items. He is going straight Restoration Stone this game.
Yeah, having the double Rube. Gonna be big as always. Hammer Storm setting up with a flank right here if he gets the TPs, which I'm sure he may.
That's huge.
Here we go. There's a big stun. Here comes a follow-up kill. They're gonna be coming in as well. There's a port. I'm not sure who that is just yet. Defensive Master's Call, by the way, and drop it in. Keeper the Force as Pharaoh will go in the background. They drop Bubbles like it's hot right there. Keeper the Force will fall as well. Hammer Storm now on the run. He activates the Brute Strength, but he's down to half-life already. He'll need to fall back right there. Team Afraid. Everyone's still alive. They take out the tower, and now they're gonna chase after Glacius, actually, who is gonna try to stride away right here. But it's going to be difficult. Can he actually stay away? I think he will in the end. So at least he survives. But, well, Team Afraid having the better of that exchange big time.
Yeah, I mean, they only half committed was part of the problem. But you got to say that I think he was afraid of full committing because, like, say Hammerstorm jumped in after that nice stun. Maybe Pharaoh would have came in right away, hooked him. The Master's Call comes out, and all of a sudden, yeah, you're in deep and screwed. So we talked about that counter initiate. Right there was a perfect example. Despite a 3-man Hammerstorm stun, despite the nice fault for Bubbles, just not enough.
Yeah, the biggest problem for me too with that, it's again whether that's miscommunication and whatnot. The Keeper of the Force poured him. It was in front of the tower right there, and his teammates were falling back at that time too. And you know, sure he got the root off, but he was in the front lines, and he just got bursted down very quickly. So.
Right, and they were so close to Hellflower on Wretched Hag, and she still has her Bat Blast up. Is he going to go in right here?
Yeah, they are. They're going to catch Glacius right there, and Seal Kid valiant effort, but you will fall top. But in the meantime, they did get a counter caution on a Deadwood, so actually, much better exchange right there at the top lane.
Yeah, I was actually talking about Deadwood.
Okay.
I saw him teleporting out right in front of the Wretched Hag, who just picked up her Hellflower. She was sort of waiting in the bushes there, jumped right out, Hellflowered him, bursted him down real quick. I mean, almost took out his full life bar.
Yeah.
I mean, he's maybe 2/3 or 3/4, but still, obviously a lot of damage coming out. Now she's level 16, going to do that much more.
So yeah, a couple of exchanges or a couple of kills happening right there, but definitely the better of Team Lion Esports Club. So 8-7 hero kill lead overall for Team Afraid. Again, it really does continue to just kind of be that back and forth game, though, especially when you look at the stats here. As Deadwood now waiting to resurrect for another 15 seconds, it looks like. Master of Arms, how is he going to follow up that level 1 Nullfire Blade? He's not going to upgrade it, at least just yet. He currently has 2,600 gold saved up. Maybe that portal, or the Shrunken Head route.
Shrunken Head would be very good for him this game, given that. Well, you know, now that he has the Nullfire Blade, another obvious thing is Hellflower from Wretched Hag, also purgeable. Just a lot of uses for it.
Yeah.
In a game like this, but yeah, he might wind up going that Shrunken Head route, just for another escape, given the immense amount of magic damage right here coming out. And okay, he did upgrade it. Right? He did upgrade the Nullfire Blade.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid upgrade from the agility gain to the damage output to the more mana burn to the no charges anymore. So has a lot of positives to it, and it's not the most cost. I mean, it's I think 850 gold. So
no, he did still have 7 charges. The damage output increase is nice, especially when it's sort of the one damage item you have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, especially for Master with the repeater ability.
And they're going to finish off Conger too, by the way. Yes, here we go. Rats the Fair going to go in right there. Kitchen Keeper of the Force. Conger is still alive. Master of Arms trying to finish him off, but they pick off Keeper of the Force just like that. The Deadwood Falcon Punch used obviously right off the bat. Nice Hammerstorm on the way, dropping him a fall. That Glacial Downpour. Pharaoh's going to end up dropping right here. Master of Arms going to fall as soon as he gets the token alive. Tempest, he did try to ultimate right there. Got canceled immediately though, maybe by the kill field, something else, I'm not sure. Keeper of the Force bites back. He jumps back in. Master of Arms going to be locked down, and Yolim will fall there. We do see a port out coming from Tempest. Deadwood on the run, but Lion Esports Club having the last laugh big time right there in that team fight.
Yeah, did not even have Bat Blast up by Wretched Hag. Just really nice initiation. They knew the Deadwood ulti was down. They knew the Pharaoh hook was down. So at that point, they were set to go all in. Buyback came at a great timing, but even without it, I think they were going to win that fight. The Ice Imprisonment from Glacius as well. Right after Master revived, I think he stunned, who was it? The Hammerstorm started laying in those autos, but just after 1 or 2 attacks, really quick, the Ice Imprisonment just totally shut him down.
Yeah, absolutely huge fight there for Team Lion Esports Club, and you look at what's coming as a result of it. They're going to easily push this middle tower in. They're going to start applying pressure to the melee racks, perhaps. The Rotten Grasp going to completely miss right there. Good attempt from, again, playing that Devil, but not going to catch. Pandy will catch Keeper of the Force, though. Keeper of the Force at half-life. In comes the tap of the command right there. Andromeda with the comma stun. Keeper of the Force will end up falling. And now the chase is off for Team Afraid. The swap on a Hammerstorm right there. Pushes him back in. and Hammerstorm will also fall. So Team Afraid definitely getting some kills here to finish this off, as Deadwood trying to find anyone else. But it doesn't look like that's going to be, or he might. He doesn't have a Falcon Punch. There's an Invis Rune. Regideck trying to get it, but actually they're going to turn this on a Deadwood now. The team support just a little bit too far away. The Bat Blast even used right there, and down falls Deadwood. So again, Deadwood just getting a little too greedy there, and ends up costing him his life in the very end.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wasn't thinking about the fact that Bat Blast was still up. Definitely. And he didn't have vision there either, right? No. So, sort of going
and no
blind.
ultimate himself, so yeah, very...
Yeah, just a risky play across the board. Meanwhile, what canceled the Tempest Elemental Void that fight? I saw it got canceled like almost immediately.
I think it was a Kelp Field.
Kelp Field, okay, that's right. So that was another great play as well.
Yeah. Ooh, Flensmeister, maybe he overstayed his welcome. Never mind, he has the Invis. So
yeah.
He is going to be fine. At the top side.
Uh-oh. I thought he might be poking back in there. He has his Hellflower up in 5 seconds here. Is he going to do it?
There is a Rev right here, though. Hag actually needs to be careful himself. Okay, he's just going to Sono Scream, steal some creeps, and jet on out of there. So.
I was going to say, with that, well, that's the nice thing about going that tanky build on Tempest, who even if he did do it, Bat Blast isn't up. He has 1,600 health, the Master of Arms shield. Wouldn't be able to kill anything, so yeah, wise play just to steal those creeps.
Barbed Armor now in Pharaoh. Seems like that's more and more of a signature item on him. Picked up here. 2,500 gold saved up on Deadwood, so despite that being a little bit overzealous there, he is pulling up quite a bit of gold. So maybe that Demonic Breastplate in the works for him. And Firebrand. Firebrand finished by Yolim here, playing the Master of Arms. So he's mass agility build, man. He is pumping out some good damage here with the items that he has.
Yeah, I suppose. He has to be careful for that lockdown. He does have the Nullfire Blade, but I mean, if he's Hellflowered, if he's locked down in another capacity, he's not getting anything off. He is still pretty damn squishy.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen a lot too, where they go that Firebrand, and then from there get the Shrunken Head, and then get the Geometers.
Yeah, it's possible we'll see that here.
I would definitely. I mean, with the Bat Blast coming out, the Hellflowers, the Kelp Fields, man, I would just get that Shrunken Head.
Yeah, there's plenty of lockdown here on the Legion side. So, speaking of that, by the way, Hammerstorm actually has his. I don't know if you mentioned that, but Super KGE finishing his own Shrunken Head. Then he got Bubbles, 3,100 gold saved up himself. So Krebson actually pulling up quite a bit of gold too. As holy crap, look at Hack, 3,300. A lot of gold being pulled up here.
Very close to that Shrunken Head. Bubbles. I would like to see the Hellflower out. We see them go different builds sometimes. Hellflower would definitely be my choice pickup.
So now just waiting on Team Afraid to be ready themselves, and we will be ready to resume game number 1. Again, this is a round of 16 here for what is HoN Tour cycle number 7. There's 8 cycles total, so we are, of course, getting down to the very finish here. This HoN Tour, at least the cycles, started back in early December, and now here we are at the beginning of March. So,
all right, let's get it on.
Yeah, so basically 3 months later here, and cycle number 7 with 2 more to go. And again, all very, very important here. As far as the finish goes, Tempest is going to get caught up, by the way. Hellfire, but there, it's a response from Penny. The Demon, the Master Skull, swap from Andromeda actually onto Tempest. He goes back in, not going to ultimate at least just yet, not even necessary. Regideck blinks away, but Keeper of the Forest will fall right there. There's a great response from Team Afraid, and again, that's just that counter initiation coming into play.
No, that was just really dumb to go on him in general, too. We just talked about the fact that even if they went on Tempest, just threw them alone, they're like, even the Hag, but then you add a Keeper, it's not that much more damage.
Yeah.
I mean, why use your root? Why commit that much to a kill, which there was a very low percentage chance of you even getting? I don't even think they could kill him. Okay, if they got the Bat Blast off and everything and no team support was nearby, maybe, but they didn't have that knowledge. I mean, look at the ward placement.
And you also have a Master of Arms.
Yeah, no, that was really bad. And considering the fact that I actually think, well, Keeper had to buy back, he might actually not be close to his Restoration Stone. I don't know if he has anything in stash, but I
definitely see.
I really don't. I thought he was really smart in, sort of killing the creeps, walking away from it, and then going back to farming, but I did not like that play at all.
All right, so we're going to see now a top tower push here. Again, the root obviously on cooldown as a result of that gank attempt. Hammerstorm kind of charging in here. Going to throw the stun off, but at what cost right here? Super KG going to get countered. In comes the combat stun. Shrunken going up, though. Master of Arms getting absolutely bursted down right there, so good Bat Blast coming out there. and they do finish him off. Now the chase is on in favor of Lion Esports Club. Barbed Armor going up from Pawnee, but he's being mass slowed, trying to be on the run. Hammerstorm jumps in, will take out Andromeda. Pharaoh's going to be picked off as well. And Lion Esports Club coming out on top of this fight here. Storm Spear going to be used on Gossick right there on the Tempest. He's going to go for the TP. Oh, he's pushed forward though with the tablet, and he will end up falling here most likely. Again, he's pretty damn tanky, but not tanky enough. He ends up going down, and a 4-for-0 exchange coming out for Lion Esports Club right there. So both teams, I mean,
talk about counter initiate though, man. That was like an art for him. Instantly, Hammerstorm, he got hooked by the Pharaoh. Instantly got tableted back.
Yeah.
So pretty much that was null and void. Was able to get a shrunken head off, avoid any of the follow-up damage. Meanwhile, simultaneous to the Pharaoh hooking in, you had the rest of the Lions initiating from the side right there. Wretched Hat getting off a beautiful bat blast and counter initiate. It was just awesome, man.
A Hellborn Barracks gets
well played. Well played by Lions for sure.
Very, very well played. And nice bait.
Again, we see the end result right there. They get the racks. Now, Deadwood jumps that Falcon Punch, but again, a great support tablet coming out. On to Keeper of the Forest, swap in from Andromeda, playing that Sacrificial Lamb. Deep of the Master's Call going to be Keeper of the Forest right in the foregrounds in the meantime. Bubbles jumps back in. He has that Kelvin as well. Down goes Master of Arms. Andromeda's going to be picked off. Pharaoh taking the damage with that Barbed Armor, even using the Wrath of the Pharaoh right there. Master of Arms comes back into the fight with the buyback, actually. But Pharaoh falls, and now Hammerstorm on the run. Deadwood coming back in. Again, he doesn't have that Falcon Punch, obviously, but can still do plenty of damage. So locked to a Hammerstorm. Rotten Grasp is going to miss, though. Freeze. Storm Spirit on the Deadwood. The charge shot on the Hammerstorm. Can he portal key away? 2 seconds. 1 second. Doesn't have the mana. Now he has enough mana. Oh, he's going to be caught by Tempest, though. He will end up falling. And Keeper of the Force is obviously already dead, too. Wretched Egg blinking away as Tempest is chasing, but okay, she'll be fine. This game, man.
We saw that portal key just, it was maybe for a microsecond there.
Yeah.
It was active. Could not get it off in time. His steam boots were on intelligence. He did everything he could, just not enough.
I think he had a couple second window, to be honest, from what I could tell, but he thought he was getting away already, perhaps. And he ran into Tempest, so.
Okay.
But anyways, Lion Esports Club, they do push the middle, though. I mean, the racks obviously completely cleared out. So Lions Esports Club, despite them getting picked off in the end, they're definitely feeling pretty good about that push overall. And Frostfield Plate finished on Wretched Hag.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Shrunken Head. Going for the Frostfield Plate instead, just to deal with all that minus armor. And given the fact that he has sort of a Bubbles and a Keeper to back him up, I guess he feels safe enough that he doesn't need it and just wants to go for that huge burst instead. It is a protective item in its own right as well. Yeah, I guess it's fine. I still normally would like to see the Shrunken, but he's trying to avoid getting bursted down by this Deadwood. Yeah. That'd be the only thing could really go sour for him in a fight. Now sitting at 40 armor with that Keeper Veil, it's yeah, gonna be very difficult.
Deadwood has enough for his own Shrunken Head too. I mean, he has a Mighty Blade pickup, so kind of assume that's where he's going. But
yeah,
Go ahead.
I've noticed Lion. They're very good about just tabling their teammates really quick when Deadwood jumps in with his Willowmaker.
Yeah.
Having a hard time getting that full combo off.
So there you go. Okay, the Shrunken Head is finished now on Deadwood, so gonna have to deliver. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the team support is. I mean, look, just look at Bubbles in his items, man. He went obviously he started off with the Portal Key, he followed up with a tablet, and then he went the Storm Spirit, and now he even has an Abyssal Skull on top of all of that. So.
Yeah. I said I would like to see the Hellflower. He goes for Storm Spirit Abyssal instead. Well, you can't really discount a Storm Spirit when you're against the Deadwood. Yeah. And all these other teams. And I guess they figure they have enough counter initiate at this point where they're comfortable. He didn't need to go for, more aggression.
They are going to be somewhat aggressive here at the bottom lane, but actually are going to start falling back. The last outer tower was just taken out there just previously, too, so Lion Esports Club, again, the momentum no doubt in their favor right now. 8,200 gold lead, 8,000 experience. They can also steal the Ancients here on the from Team Afraid. As Wretched Axe looking at the gold per minute chart, I mean, now 428 gold per minute, as definitely up there in terms of the GPM. Master of Arms still pretty solid himself, 375. Again, he now has another 2,400 gold pulled up. So will it be that Geometer's being finished? Will it be the Shrunken Head for him? The Bound Eye picked up on Pharaoh, by the way.
Yeah, and Keeper of the Forest sitting at 3,500, obviously. Restoration Stone is right around the corner. He's farming the top lane. Here it is, right after this wave. And they can pretty much go push whenever they want after that.
Yep, having the double root. What else was there? Oh yeah, Barrier also finished on Tempest, by the way. So he's actually continuing to have pretty good farm himself, Gossig here.
This is kind of a weird game because so far it seems like whatever team initiates has lost the fight.
It does, yeah.
The way each team is responding to the follow-up and sort of baiting it out, it's like you don't want to be the one jumping in this game.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Exception to that being the Kongor fight, which they were already sort of committed because of Kongor. Actually, you know what? It wasn't even because I believe Pharaoh hooked in initially that fight to try to buy them room to finish Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that has been the case all game. Even from the start when they had I think it was a 5v4 bottom. Master wound up using the Master's Call, but they wound up losing 3 for 2 down there early on.
You're right. I mean, so I guess don't initiate then if you're in this game.
Just don't do anything. Sit back and
just wait for the other team to make the move. Retchag, I mean, look at her armor, man. 53.5 armor when she basically has every single buff. That is ridiculous. Down here, Glacius, the Falcon Punch is used. A Bound Eye also drops, so definitely a solid pick up there for Team Afraid, but now they're in a decent or pretty bad position. Actually, Hammerstorm going to be jumped on. Keep it the Force Root coming out, hitting 3 heroes right there. Hammerstorm now following that with the Mummy Walls causing issues. Bat Blast in the background, though. Pretty well lined up right there. Master of Arms being picked up. The Tempest all the way locking down Keep it the Force. It's going to be stopped by the Kelpie, though, it looks like. Tempest is going to end up falling. Pharaoh will end up going down. We do see the chase happening on Andromeda, and it's going to be a genocide for Team Lion Esports Club. The GGs are coming out, and just like that, it's a victory for Lion Esports Club. So guess what? Guess what just happened? Team Afraid initiated.
Yeah, and then they lose. Exactly. I think that was the story all game. If you can find a moment of outside of isolated like single hero pickoffs that may have happened where that was not the case, let me know, because it honestly seemed like that was the story of the game. And the Mummy Wall is there. I think Penny was trying to get his team like to a safe posturing, but I think he wound up trapping 2 of his own teammates in with him. They just got really nice and clumped up for the Hammer Storm coming in, the 3-man Black Blast. It was just annihilation.
Yep, beautiful fight in the end for Lion Esports Club, and that does secure them the Game 1 victory. So best out of 3, of course, as always here in the HoN Tour event, so definitely sit tight. We will have that second game coming up here in the very near future. With that said, though, we're going to take a short break right here, but we're going to be coming back with a special guest, actually, just to talk about it, make a couple of announcements here, talk about a couple things, and then we'll resume coverage with game number 2. So sit tight, guys. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.